You know my general view that the world's gone completely crackers? Well, there was a brilliant piece written in today's Daily Telegraph by trans athlete Tina Daniels who says she considered entering events in the 2012 London Olympics after undergoing gender realignment surgery from a man to a woman and could have won gold in every category. But she wrote, "This was something I couldn't bring myself to do, while others had worked tirelessly for the chance to realise that same dream. Because of my unfair advantage, I would just be taking a deserved spot away." It's fairness that my next guest is concerned about today. World Athletics is looking at increasing restrictions on trans women, but not banning them completely from women's sport. And British shot put champion Amelia Strickler says it could screw women in her sport. Her words in her own excellent piece about this. And Amelia, you join me now. So I better explain to viewers why you sound a little bit American. You're born in Ohio.
Yes.
You're British American. You compete for Britain.
Yes.
You've been a British champion
twice
at shot putting twice, and you're hopefully will be competing for GB in the Olympics. The next one.
Yes.
Talk to me about this issue, because I've been talking about this as a man for a long time.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think this is a debate that has to be won by women. It seems to me just grotesquely unfair that you can reduce testosterone as much as you like, but what you can't reduce, and Caitlyn Jenner is very strong about this, you can't reduce physical size, power, body mass, all the things you accumulate in a male body for many years. Is that really at the heart of this?
Yeah. Ultimately, you know, the hormones are not going to take away that male advantage. The hormone suppressors, or it's not going to take away that male puberty. You know, there are physiological things you can't change: skeleton sizes, hip angles, lung capacities, you know, obviously the muscle. And some people, you know, transition later in life, don't they? So they may have trained as a man for many, many years, biological male. Right. And then all of a sudden decide to identify.
And the common theme, if you take Leah Thomas, a swimmer in America, or you take some of the sprinters in Connecticut who've been smashing women's records, or Laurel Hubbard, who's a New Zealand weightlifter, who transitioned and competes against women. The common theme is that as male performers, they were pretty mediocre. But when they start competing against women having transitioned and said, "I'm now identifying as female," they start smashing records, which may never be beaten in some cases. I mean, they're basically rewriting women's sport.
Exactly, and they're taking away a lot of opportunities from other women that have worked so hard to be where they are. Leah Thomas winning the national title. You know, they were never good enough to do that in the male category.
Nowhere near good enough.
And you know, it's really about keeping women's sport fair.
Where's it going to go, this? I mean, if World Athletics are going to be so gutless as they're currently being, where they're just basically sitting on the fence and hoping this all blows over, it's not going to blow over, because more and more people are now identifying as a different gender. This has become a huge phenomenon now around the world, which means more and more athletes are going to be transitioning and saying, OK, now I'm a woman. Now, what happens if you are a high-performing male athlete in any discipline and you see an opportunity? If you're cynical, we know there are cheats in sport, right? We saw it from Lance Armstrong to others. And they go, you know what, here's a way for me to make myself extremely rich and famous. I'll just put my hand up, say I'm female for 3 years, win everything, earn hundreds of millions, and go back to being a man at the end of it.
Exactly.
What's to stop someone doing that?
It's happening at grassroots level as well already. You know, that's, even if it's just a park run, surely that means something to someone to place, you know, high enough. Yeah. And you know, they'll never have periods. They'll never experience that. You know, it does hinder many female training.
A real issue,
it's a real issue. Even, you know, Dina this summer said, you know, I've had lady issues, and she didn't perform well that day, and you know, it's understandable.
What reaction have you had since you wrote this piece and went public? It was a brave thing to do.
I've had very good reactions. I've had a lot of people say, you know, thank you from me, thank you from my daughter. You know, this means a lot, so much to so many, you know, women and men, and you know, everyone seems to have a really positive reaction to it. Obviously.
Any negativity?
Of course, you're going to have some. You know, some want to say I'm not even British, but
right. So they start being racist.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've been accused of being transphobic, which is the default position for anyone that dares to raise concerns about this issue. You have to be a transphobe. Even though
that's not the case at all.
You're not a transphobe at all, right?
No, I fully think they should be included, but there's a way to have them be included and not have it harm female sport and biological females competing in sport.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Swimming, they did an open category and a female category to protect the female sex and to protect
I don't know
sport.
why you can't just
It's
have a trans category.
I mean,
There's
or-
more and
or-
more
or
trans
that.
athletes. So have a trans category and just build that up and just have a third. Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
what's happening at the moment is just not fair. It's not fair to women.
Exactly.
And women's rights are being eroded at the altar of political correctness. That's all that's happening. And people are terrified of saying, this is wrong. That's why I really wanted to get you in, and I really admire you for what you've done. It's a really bold thing. Have you heard from the British athletic bosses or not?
I have not, but a lot of other big names, my peers, people I'm on teams with, big names. People would know these names.
They agree with you.
Strongly support me, but
Really?
obviously I think, people are scared to speak out. They do not want the label of transphobic.
Right.
They do not want their contracts to potentially be in jeopardy, which I can understand. Athletics is not a wealthy sport. We're not making football money, but, it is important to me. And
You must have known when you wrote this piece that this could backfire horribly. It might be the end of your career.
Yes.
I mean, that literally
Yes,
could be. You
it
see
did
what happens to
cross
people
my
like J.K.
mind.
Rowling and stuff. Anything could have happened to you.
It did cross my mind, but I am so grateful for everyone who's reached out positively, because it really is touching to hear that, someone's daughter is looking up to me just for speaking
good
up.
for
I
you.
didn't expect
Honestly,
that. It's touching.
Amelia, good for you. We need more people with your guts to do this. Then this debate can be had properly and fairly. Because nobody wants to be unfair to trans athletes, but I don't think they should be allowed to just dominate women's sport, which is incredibly unfair to women born to female bodies. Just period. Well,
Exactly.
period. But it is full stop, as we would say in this country.
Yes.
Oh, I'm turning all American and inappropriate there. Finally, one question for you. What makes you wake up one day and think, I know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm going to run along and chuck an 8-pound weight, 18 metres. Which is what you do.
Yes, I was young and got involved in athletics, and I loved all the events, but this one I seemed to excel at, and I just stuck with it, and it's been quite a journey, and it still makes me happy.
It's
Whatever.
amazing. I think it's an amazing thing to watch.
Thank you.
It really is. It's so hard to actually move and then throw something that far that weighs 8 pounds. It's just I couldn't do it. I couldn't throw it out of the pit bit. Amelia, you're very gutsy. Keep speaking out. Others will follow you, but as always, it takes the first people over the top to call it for what it is, and you've done that. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I do hope more people speak
They
out,
have
because
to.
it's
They
very
have to.
important.
This has to get addressed properly.
Yes.
And best of luck. See you at the Olympics.
Yeah.
We need people with your kind of guts at the Olympics. That's what it takes, a bit of mental strength, courage, resilience. Don't take this nonsense. If you can take down the wokies, you can certainly win Olympic gold. I'm right behind you, Amelia.
So.
Good to see you.
Thank you.